What's going on today, guys? Rachel here from Keto Uncut, and today I will be explaining to you keto products that you do not need for the keto diet. Coming up. Alright guys, one of the toughest things about trying to navigate your way through figuring out how to do the keto diet is trying to find out which products you actually need and which products you don't. Now, of course, I'm talking about food items, but I'm also talking about non-food items here. There's plenty of products out there that either get into your ads on Instagram or Facebook, or you're researching keto and you're trying to figure out which items you're gonna need to start. Well, most of them that you hear are bullshit. And trust me, I fell into the trap of getting everything. I bought every single packaged product. I bought way too much to where I had to buy multiple shelving units to store all of my keto products. It's insanity. So while a lot of these items are nice and some of them you may enjoy and you want to keep in your life, there's so many products and food items that you do not need to keep in your diet, and they're completely unnecessary to be able to do the keto diet correctly. All of these products, food or not, if you enjoy them, totally go for it. They're just not necessary. So I will explain why I don't think that they're necessary, but I will also, on the other hand, explain why I like them and some benefits to them, whether they're the same benefits that people claim or not. I'm gonna tell you one that I stumbled into right away and I thought that I absolutely needed, and you absolutely don't. MCT oil. If you've heard anything about keto at all, you've probably heard about bulletproof coffees and MCT oil. MCT oil is a medium chain triglyceride that is extracted from coconut oil, and it basically is a straight to the dome fuel to your brain. So this actually works out really well if you want an extra boost with your coffee, but it is totally unnecessary. And actually, depending on how much you take, there's probably more cons than pros. MCT oil is fastly absorbed, and wouldn't you know it, it fastly exits your body. You need to kind of work your way up to using MCT oil, and it's probably not the best thing if you become accustomed to a bunch of MCT oil, because it really does speed up things when it comes to your digestion. And if you become accustomed to that, imagine getting rid of MCT oil. You might run into constipation or other tummy issues. When I first started keto, I thought I needed MCT oil, and I started my bulletproof coffees off with like a tablespoon and the butter and the heavy whipping cream, all of it together. It was just way over the top and too much MCT oil, and by starting off with too much, you can be nauseous and, like I said, tummy trouble. But MCT oil in small amounts is a useful tool. If you do enjoy MCT oil, you don't have any adverse reactions if you take proper amounts and you use it wisely. There is no reason to not use MCT oil. I just usually these days avoid it. Except Perfect Keto's powdered MCT oil. I mainly use these more for the flavor rather than the MCT oil benefits, if you will. I just love the flavors. I always go in between the chocolate, the vanilla, and the salted caramel. I think they're all super delicious, and it really just like takes your coffee to the next level. I've even just done the MCT oil powder with some water and heavy whipping cream and ice and shake that up, and it's like a delicious shake that you won't feel bad about. This is not an ad, I'm not sponsored, I just really do love it. Next keto item that you don't need is something that people swear by: apple cider vinegar. Even before keto, I used to do a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar with some cranberry juice, and I would even do tests where I take a tablespoon, for 2 weeks at a time, and then I wouldn't, and I never really saw a difference. It's definitely something that gets hype. I think that it's starting to die out. I used to think that it was aiding in digestion, and some people truly believe that that does do that. And if you think that it does, go for it. I do, however, really enjoy vinegar. Bizarre. So since I have a stockpile of apple cider vinegar from when I thought that I really needed it, I will add a little bit to my lemonade Ultima, and it'll add a what? So I will actually add a little bit of apple cider vinegar to my drinks that have some Ultima electrolyte powder to it, and it adds a little extra zip and makes the non-lemonade flavors kind of taste like lemonade. If you've got a bunch of apple cider vinegar on hand, then you should try that. Next, making sure that your diet is stuffed full of vegetables that are good for getting your vitamins. Spinach and kale are the two that really come to mind, and you do not need them. I know, to some this sounds insane to say don't eat your greens. That's what we've been told our entire lives, that we need these things and that they're full of nutrients. They're full of vitamin A, vitamin K. While that is somewhat true, on paper these vegetables do kind of show that they are high in these certain vitamins and nutrients, when really they are not bioavailable to our bodies. So while it says that you're getting 200% of your vitamin A because you're eating a couple bowls of spinach, you're actually only converting that to what your body can use at like a 5% rate. So you're really not. You're better off getting all of the vitamins and nutrients that you need from an animal-based keto diet. Now, don't get me wrong, I eat so much avocado, it's bonkers. So the more avocado I have in my mind like, oh, I am getting potassium. I am getting potassium, just not at the full rate that they put on paper. It doesn't necessarily hurt to have these items, just don't think that you're doing it solely based off getting enough vitamins, because that's just not the case. Next, I know this is gonna be a big shocker, but you don't need a substitute for everything. You don't need a substitute for fries. You don't need a substitute for your baked potatoes. You're probably gonna be disappointed. The further I get into keto, the more I enjoy a potato salad made out of radishes instead of potatoes. The longer I'm into keto, the more I enjoy shirataki noodles instead of normal pasta. But that takes time. At first, you're going to want those carb items and you're gonna want a perfect substitute, and it's just not gonna be the case. This is one where you really have to just go through it by trying to find a substitute for all of the carb items that you love that is really going to put you in the mindset that you are losing out on food items that you love, when really you should try to look at it as, wow, look at all these foods that I used to avoid, and now that I'm on a keto diet, I get to eat them. Butter, bacon, cheese, all these high-fat foods that I used to think were big no-nos are now on the menu, and you should really look at it a mindset of gaining rather than losing out. Now, on the other hand of this, like I said, it is something that you're gonna have to like work through and decide, oh, this is a great substitution. I know it's not exactly perfect, but it tastes bomb. And some you're just like, this isn't gonna work out. I don't know how many recipes I've tried making tater tots, and it's just not ever gonna be a tater tot. You know what I'm saying? Next, all right, this next one is not a product, it's not even a food, it is fasting. Don't start off right off the bat doing fasting, or even intermittent fasting for that matter. Especially when starting keto, the last thing you wanna do is try to do everything at once, because keto is vastly different from the standard American diet. Calm down.
I suggest we form a calming circle. I am calm!
Fasting will come, and naturally, you will want to probably eat less meals as you continue to do keto. Fasting and keto, I do that. Right now, I'm actually doing a 36-hour fast. Right now, so I'm on a 36-hour fast. Hey, bud. And I stopped eating at around 9:30 last night. So, being that it's 3:30, I am 18 hours in. I will link down below the app that I'm using. It is Zero. I use a Zero app. So actually, I'm 50% through my fasting. Now, why am I doing a 36-hour fast?
Well,
I haven't done one in a really long time, and there is health benefits to fasting. Some people find that fasting just never really works for them. They're better off doing smaller meals, and that's totally fine. You can totally do that. Don't let people make you feel bad that you don't do fasting because they're a part of the keto police.
these are bullies.
That's not cool. And you totally don't have to do that. Don't fast if you don't want to. Don't fast if you don't think it feels good. Do research, see if you think you want to do it, but you don't have to. Next, fiber. I know this is a crazy one for people, but you don't need a butt ton of fiber in your diet. You just don't. Now, this one is very individual for different people. High fiber does not necessarily mean optimal for your digestion. This is totally individual. I find that I don't need a lot of fiber. Some people find that they do. So just don't think that it's generically a staple that you need. Try some different things. Try 20 grams of fiber. Try 10 grams of fiber. Try different amounts of fiber and just see what works best for you, but it's definitely not a necessity. Next, this is definitely something that you do not need. He just wants to be in here. Come here, bud. If you're gonna keep on at my hands, you're coming in here. Thank you. Thank you. What a face. He hasn't been on camera in a while. There he is. Still got him. So something else that you do not need for the keto diet is grass-fed, grass-finished, 100% perfect, clean keto, pasture-raised eggs. You don't need it. Get food that you can afford. Try to do your best. But your best doesn't mean going broke. If you choose a keto diet, you can do dirty keto if that suits you best, or you can just go for cheaper options. I would much rather you do... Nope. Don't chew your antler. He's wanting to chew an antler. We can't have that kind of noise in here. I would much rather you choose a conventional ground beef over a high-carb standard American diet. There is benefits to doing 100% grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef. It's better for the environment. It's carbon neutral if farming methods are done correctly that way. Pasture-raised eggs definitely have more nutrients in them, but doing regular eggs, regular beef, regular cheaper items at the grocery store is getting from standard American diet to 95% there. The last 5% is doing the grass-fed, grass-finished. It's not necessary. I cannot urge that enough. If you want to do that, if you can afford to do that, if you feel like it's necessary to do that, then do it. I try to do my best. I get a shipment of Butcher Box every other month, and that is 100% grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef and steaks and pork. Everything is gonna be top-notch. Try to do the best that you can, but it's totally not necessary. Don't feel bad about not getting the best all the time. We're just all trying to do our best here. Next, this one is the last, but like for sure not least. It's probably the most important one. You do not need exogenous ketones, and you especially do not need keto supplements. You do not need those. Don't get them. Save yourself a bunch of money. They're dumb. First, let's talk about exogenous ketones. I used to think that you needed these. You definitely don't. Exogenous ketones are supposed to up your blood ketones, give you more energy, and while that is true, it's not going to put you into ketosis. It's not going to do all of these magical things to switch your body into burning fuel, because that's just not how it works. Especially when starting keto, you do not want to fill yourself with a bunch of exogenous ketones. The whole point of trying to get into keto is having your own body create those ketones and have your whole body run off ketones and burn fat rather than burn glucose. So it's completely pointless to add a bunch of exogenous ketones into the mix. You're trying to make your body do it. Why would you throw a bunch in there? It could very well be that your body's like, I don't need to make ketones. Look, there's a bunch floating around here. That's not what you want. They're definitely not necessary, and they do not get you into ketosis quicker. I cannot stress that enough. I wonder if I have any. Hold on. I do have some. Keto Logic, Keto Energy. So this is BHB and caffeine. So basically this is exogenous ketones, and it is in a flavor which is actually really good, raspberry lemonade. And you mix this with your water and you get exogenous ketones, you get caffeine, and it boosts and yada yada. Not necessary. Will not get you into ketosis. Will not make you burn more fat. Now what it will do is aid in a hangover a little bit, or give you that little extra boost before your workout, or help you get through maybe a crazy busy day or something like that. The exogenous ketones have to be bound to something in the powder, so they use electrolytes. It is bound to calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium, and electrolytes make you feel better. Definitely not necessary to have, but it's delicious. Oh, and they have a bomb pop one without caffeine, and that one is really good. All right, the bad ones though. Do not get keto supplements. If it's keto supplement, whatever, or whichever, or crap, or junk, that's what it is. Supplements are not regulated like pharmaceutical pills are, so depending on how sketchy the company is, you have no idea what you're getting in there. If you're going to get any keto supplements, get electrolytes, get some magnesium, get some D3K2 drops, get I can't eat real liver. So if you're one of those people like me, then capsules are the way to go. Beef liver capsules, that is really just ground up dehydrated beef liver. But as far as supplements where they claim that you're gonna lose weight fast, get in ketosis quickly, drop all your weight, look better, feel better, make more money, be successful, make your spouse hotter, make your house look better. It's basically a bunch of lies to get you to buy the products. There's some companies that will go at any length to just rob you out of your money. Prove it! That concludes this video. I hope it has helped. Don't do what I did and what many others before you have done and think that you need all of these products to be keto. You don't. You absolutely don't. Some of these things are very nice to have, and maybe along the way you can try things here and there and see what you like, but they're definitely not necessary. Link down below will be some of the items that I talked about today. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and maybe give a comment, and especially subscribe with all notifications to make sure you stay in the loop. Link down below will be some of the things like my favorite items from Amazon. I'm an itty bitty channel, so I really got nothing going on and nothing to advertise, so that's it. So thank you so much. You guys are the best. I'm Rachel. This is Keto Uncut, and we'll see you next time. I left my electronic wipe there the entire time. I spent all this time making that lighting good, making that lighting good, making this light and that light and that light and this light look good. Got the mic right here. And then I leave that dang little wipe. How am I gonna put it? Supplement with some like hilly. Here's my filming buddy. Gosh, my eyelashes are hanging out together. If I look crazy, I guess you won't let me know until it's too late.